Downsizing after 60 is often sold as the obvious next step. But what if downsizing actually leaves you worse off financially? Today, we are answering a big question. Is downsizing after 60 a smart move or costly mistake? Hi, my name is Helen Nan. I'm a certified finance planner and author of a finance book. The information I'm sharing today is general advice only, not personal advice, so please make sure you read the full disclaimer below. Today, I'm going to show you how downsizing can go wrong, how the downside super contribution really works, and how it can actually improve your age pension position, and a real-world example showing how better planning can completely change the outcome. For many people in their 60s, downsizing feels like it just makes sense. The kids have left home. The extra bedrooms sit unused. Stairs start to feel harder than they used to. And garden becomes more work than enjoyment. So naturally, people start thinking about moving to something smaller, something easier to manage, something closer to family, healthcare, or lifestyle amenities. And sometimes downsizing absolutely is right move. But here's the problem. A lot of people assume that selling a larger home will automatically leave them with a big surplus cash. In reality, it often doesn't work that way. By the time you factor in real estate agent fees, legal and conveyancing costs, moving expenses, stamp duty on the new property, and the fact that smaller homes in good locations aren't always cheap, that expected surplus can shrink very quickly. And that's before you even think about ongoing costs like strata fees, the impact on your age pension, and how it affects your long-term cash flow. So let's take a look what this actually look like in practice. Meet John and Murray. John is 69, Murray is 63, and they've recently retired. They've been living in their family home for many years. Their home is worth about $1.4 million. They have no mortgage. John has around $400,000 in his shipper. They've got $180,000 in savings. And John is receiving a Part Age pension. They decide to downsize. The plan sounds sensible. Sell the home, buy something smaller, invest the leftover money, and improve their retirement cash flow. But here's what actually happened. They sell their home for $1.4 million. After agent fees, legal costs, and moving expenses, they are left with about $1.32 million. They then purchased a well-located two-bedroom apartment for $1.1 million. When stamp duty and buying costs are included, their surplus cash flow dropped to around $160,000. And this is where things start to unravel. That $160,000 is now sitting in their bank accounts and is counted towards asset test by Centrelink. The result is that John's age pension is reduced. They are also now paying around $9,000 in a year in strata fees, and emotionally they find themselves missing their old house and neighborhood. So was it a disaster? No. But was it the retirement upgrade they were expecting? Also no. Now this is where one overlooked strategy can make a huge difference. It's called the downsizer super contribution. If you're over 55, you can contribute up to $300,000 per person into super from the sale of your home. That's up to $600,000 per couple. And the key thing here is that you can do this even if you're already retired, even if you don't meet usual work test requirements, and even if your existing super balance is already quite high. There are some rules. You need to have owned a home for at least 10 years. It must have been your main residence. The contribution needs to be made within 90 days of settlement. And it's a once-only opportunity. But importantly, it doesn't count towards your normal contribution caps. Let's go back to John and Murray and see how this could have changed things. Instead of leaving that extra cash sitting in the bank, they take a more strategic approach. They contribute the $160,000 into Super using the downsizer rules, and then they add another $140,000 from their existing savings. That gives them a total contribution of $300,000, and importantly, they direct that money into Murray's super fund. Why Murray? Because she's 63, which means she's under age pension age. And here's a key detail that many people miss. Super held by someone under age pension age is generally not counted under Centrelink asset and income tests. So what does that achieve? Their ancestral assets are reduced, which can increase John's age pension. At the same time, that money is now sitting in a tax-effective super environment. Marley's super balance grows, and their overall retirement position and cash flow improve. Same couple, same decision to downsize, but with better planning, a completely different outcome. So when does downsizing actually make sense? It tends to work best when lifestyle is the main driver, when safety and accessibility generally improve your quality of life, and when all of the costs, both upfront and ongoing, are properly considered. It's also important to understand how the move will affect your super, your pension, and your long-term financial plan, not just the next few years, but the next 2 or 3 decades. Because sometimes the smartest move isn't simply moving into a smaller home, it's making a better planned decision. Now this part is really important. Strategies like this depend heavily on your personal circumstances, your age, your partner's age, your super balance, your eligibility for contributions, how Centrelink rules apply to you, and the timing of everything all need to be carefully coordinated. So before making any major decisions, it's important to speak with a qualified financial advisor. So is downsizing after 60 a smart move or costly mistake? The honest answer is it depends on the planning behind it. Before you make a decision, ask yourself, what do you want your life to look like in 10, 20, or even 30 years? And how this decision supports your vision, both financially and emotionally. If you find this helpful, make sure like the video, subscribe for more retirement and wealth planning insights, and share this with someone who's thinking about downsizing. And remember, big financial decisions deserve calm, informed choices, not pressure, fear, or assumptions. To learn more, visit compoundfreedom.eu, and I will see you in the next video.